Oh, there he goes. Started. Hello, Pastor Dwight. How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Good to see you. Good to see you. I know a lot of my audience are super excited for this interview, of course.
Okay.
Um, so I'm gonna do a quick little introduction. So everybody, hello. I am met with Pastor Dwight. He is the lead pastor of Generation of Hope Church. He's an entrepreneur. He's a husband. He's a father. And last but not least, he is an author. He is the author of 5 Things Every Man Needs. So that's on pre-sale right now, right? So people can go ahead and pre-sell that, right?
Yeah, that's good. You made me feel good. Great
Oh,
introduction.
I mean, you're a pastor, so you make everybody feel good all the time. So thank you so much for being here. I know this is very short notice,
No problem.
so just want to say thank you for being here. So how are you, first of all? How you
I'm
doing?
doing well. How about yourself?
Besides the pandemic, I'm okay. You know, like the pandemic has been a struggle, and I know that you are a pastor. So for you, how has that been? I know a lot of people cannot join in the church, and it's been difficult, honestly.
Right. Well, for me, the pandemic has really opened up doors by where I can minister on different platforms. I've
Like
taken,
TikTok.
yeah, TikTok, Instagram Live here,
Yeah.
Facebook, all those platforms I just use to minister on. I minister on now. I have Bible studies on those platforms, and so it's been a blessing to me. God's been really kind to us. We've been able to reach a lot of people virtually, and so
Oh yeah.
we just had to adapt. Now that things are going back to normal, I'm challenged with. Um, are we going to go all the way back in, or are we just going to keep our virtual Bible studies and services?
Right.
But so yeah, but we've adapted pretty well though. Yeah.
What would you like? Would you like to, of course, you're a pastor, so you love to be able to touch people. Would you like to go back inside and do,
Absolutely.
okay,
Absolutely.
so that's
You
dope.
know, yeah, I'm a people's person, so I
Right.
love to I love to be around people and talk to people. So I mean, that's where I want to be. I think as things are opening back up, I'll be able to do it a little bit more, but I would love to be around people. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, cool. Let's
Absolutely.
talk about this book. Okay, so 5 Things Every Man Needs already. The title, of course, we got to talk about what the men need, but give me one thing from the book that would be beneficial for people looking to be in a more healthier relationship, something that will help them.
Well, there's quite a few things. There's of course 5 major things I list in the book, but one of those things is every man needs a safe place.
Oh,
And so when I say that,
ooh,
men like to literally lay their head where there's peace.
right.
You can have somebody who's been married for years, and he'll literally get off work, drive past the house, go to the
Wow.
movies until he can go home and feel like it's safe to go back. No man wants to go into a house by where there's going to be friction or division. He may have caused it, but they still don't like to be around chaotic situations. So men need a safe place. They need a place by where they can literally open up and be themselves.
Right.
Um, this is the birth of man caves. Men came up with man caves because man
Which I
caves. So
cannot stand a man cave. I'm gonna be honest.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think a
yeah.
man cave is a divide between the man and their family. Like, if I'm being honest, what all does a woman have? Like a woman has. Like, do we have a woman cave? And that's why I want you to be able to kind of educate a woman like myself, because when I hear man cave, I just think of, oh, you want to be away from your family. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Or
well,
you need peace.
right. Well, a man cave is just simply peace, and it's his way
Right.
of saying that I need some time away, but I don't want to go too far. So I'm going to go
Okay.
downstairs. I'm going to go downstairs for a few hours to get my mind off of things, relax, come
Right.
back upstairs when it's time. So it's his way of saying I'm not going to, take a trip. I'm not going to go away for a week with the boys, but I'm stay in the house, watch a
Right.
few movies or the game, and come back. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah.
Somebody in the comments wants to know, is it an audio book? Can they get it in the audio?
Right now, it's not an audio book.
Okay.
Hopefully we can implement that
Okay.
and get the audio book for you. But right now, it's simply going to be, it's a paperback book. We're going to send it out to those who have pre-ordered, and for whoever gets the book, you're able to get it in the next few weeks, you'll be able to get that book on Amazon,
Oh, good.
all your major book outlets. You can also order it on my site, and I'll say more about that at the end. But you can order it on my site, pre-order now. People have literally been pre-ordering the book since
I
last
still got to
week.
get my copy. I'm going to grab my copy as soon as we hop off this live because my brother-in-law does a lot of things that you do as well. And
Okay.
I think it's great work what you men are doing, because as a woman, I don't know what the 5 things that men need, like I might think you guys want a sandwich and for me to stop nagging, but it's more to that. And I think a lot of
Well,
women need to understand.
right, and it's really insightful book for women to hear about the more intricate needs that men need. In the book, another thing I talk about is every man needs support, and so in that, I'm dealing with the fact that if a man has the right support system,
Right.
he will literally build you a house. And I'm not even so much talking about financial support. If you tell a man, I appreciate the way you took the garbage out.
That's
Um,
a good one.
I appreciate you taking care of the kids. I appreciate the way you put the dishes up.
Yeah.
I appreciate any type of affirmation or any type of encouragement to him is going to push him forward. Men want to
Right.
feel like, men number one want to feel like they're appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
If they feel appreciated and supported, they'll do anything for you. It is only when they feel like they're not quite respected or supported that they'll begin to distance themselves. And a lot of men aren't real, we don't really want to spark up a conversation. We'll start
Right.
distancing ourselves before we actually say something. But to prevent that, I think the right support is adequate. And it's on both sides. Now, I'm not
I
talking
was just
about,
about to say, both sides, right?
I'm not talking about the woman just supporting the man. He has to be given support. You reap what you sow. You can't. You cannot give out support and then expect support back. So it has to be vice versa. Both of you guys have to be in mutual agreement that we're
Right.
both supporting each other. We're both standing for each other. We both got each other's back. And
Right.
that way the relationship will begin to take a step forward and
Right.
thrive in a lot of areas. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm so excited to get this book. Hopefully you can sign a little autograph for us.
For sure. For
I
sure.
definitely
For
cannot
sure.
wait to hear it. And
For sure.
let's talk. We're going to get back to the book, of course. Let's talk more about how you became a pastor, that role. What really brought you to become a pastor? Because I think, okay, we saw you on TV, and for a lot of women, you are married, so respect to your marriage. A lot of women saw you and saw the title, was like, wait a minute, he's a pastor?
Right.
So in today's age, we don't really see pastors that look like yourself. So take us down that road of you becoming a pastor.
Well, I think it's imperative to say this. I didn't choose it. It chose me.
Absolutely.
God chose me to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Early on in life, I knew I had a call in my life to pastor and to help people. And so it really wasn't until I got probably about 24 when I
You're
began
not
to work.
24 now?
No. That's funny. I'll receive it though. It's probably when I got like 24
Right.
where I began to receive the call and start to, walk closer with God.
Right.
I think we've had this stereotype that all pastors have to look old or be old,
I know, right?
or wear the traditional shirt and tie,
Yeah.
and that's our typical image of a pastor or a woman, older woman with gray hair, and so I think from even those seeing me on TV, my goal, and I believe the way God is positioning me is to be for you to relate to me.
Yeah.
If you could relate to me, then you might be able to receive something I'll say to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the more relatable we are as those who are quote unquote leaders or pastors in the church, then a lot of people can relate to you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, millennials, they're not so familiar with hymn notes. They don't know all the
And
latest
I'm a
gospel
millennial, so
songs.
you're teaching me something.
Yeah, they don't know all the latest, may not know all the latest gospel songs.
Yeah.
But there are other creative ways by where you can relate to them. And one of the ways I choose to do that is by using TikTok. as a platform to reach a lot of younger people and even older people as a
Yeah.
vehicle to minister to. And I really try to meet them right where they are. One thing you never want to do is judge people, tear them down. You want you
Preach,
want
preach,
you want
Pastor.
to keep the atmosphere to where they feel comfortable to open up to you,
Yeah.
and then you can share encouraging word. And if they choose to receive it, that's on them. But yeah, I was called at an early age and submitted when I got in my early 20s. It was a rough
Wow.
journey. I didn't want to do it. Interestingly enough, I'll share this. I wanted to go to school and pursue performing arts.
Oh,
And
wow. Really?
yeah, I wanted to pursue performing arts and move into that industry. And when I received the call of God, I was like, no, that ain't gonna work. But it's interesting how God heard my prayers then, and
Wow.
he's now mixing it to where I'm still a pastor and I'm a minister, but he's still allowing my word to be heard on a national
That is
level. And so
so true.
God is, that only God could have did that. Yeah.
I mean, and like I said, God is truly amazing. Me and you even spoke, and a lot of people, I will say, if I'm speaking for everybody right now, I think we are so excited that Married at First Sight, is over.
Yeah, yeah,
Tonight is the reunion part 2,
yeah.
and I think we speak for everybody when we say we are ready for it to be over.
Right.
I do want to say, thank you for being who you were on that show. I really think that we needed that, because from a viewer standpoint, I think everybody, every Wednesday or whatever day it premieres, we were yelling at the TV like, how are the experts not seeing what we're seeing? And granted, it's a show. But
Yeah.
I do think that you came on the show and you brought insight that a lot of people needed. And I just want to say thank you. We don't really get much of a real representation on TV, especially something like Married at First Sight. So I just want to say thank you. I know a lot of people in the comments right now are saying, Chris can't relate and Chris this, Chris that. This is my first season ever watching the show. So as a pastor who decided to do reality TV, were you afraid to step into that territory any?
Well, let me say this. I actually did not choose this. I think it chose me, and I think
That's true.
whatever your purpose is, I think it will find you.
Yeah.
The door opened to go on, and I really just thank God when I got on, and then thankfully more doors opened, and I just took them. But this is one of those things where God opened up, and I'm just thankful
Yeah.
that I was able to be a light while I was being shown on TVs across the world. And I think oftentimes God will test us with a lot after we've been faithful with small things,
Oh yeah.
to see if we can handle that. Because, a lot of times we'll ask God for exposure, and we'll ask God for lights and camera, and God, I want to do this. But God first tests us with the small things first to see if we
Yeah.
can handle that. And
Yeah.
so my biggest thing was to say to myself, just make sure that God is honored by whatever I say and by
Oh,
whatever
he
I
is.
do. I want him to be, at the end of the day, I want God to be pleased. I'm not doing this for fame. I'm not doing it. I
And I was
want
just
God to
about to
be,
ask you that, because a lot
yeah,
of people, I've heard, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Pastor. A lot of people have been saying, is it for the fame? Is it for X, Y, and Z? But honestly, me as a viewer looking in, I didn't see that.
yeah,
You were brought on as, Chris's friends, and you spoke nothing but true testimony to what the situation was, and like I said, I think a lot of us is very frustrated with how the season went. And when
mhm.
you came in, what you won't do is disrespect me. I
Right,
can see that clip. So,
right,
like I said, I really do appreciate the fact that who you were on that show really gave light to, what we needed to see in that
right,
moment.
right,
And,
right.
and I appreciate you for being on there. Seriously, you're like the only one on there that's real.
Amen. Amen. I appreciate that. And I thank God for just giving me again the opportunity to have been on there and to be a
Yeah.
beacon of light, and because those type of opportunities don't come every day.
Yeah.
And so with that, I just wanted God to really be pleased, and
Yeah.
I'm also thankful that there are those now that have watched that are encouraged and have hope, and that was
Oh,
my
yeah.
that was the whole thing, that people would have hope and encouragement. Mm-hmm.
Do you
Yeah.
think you stepped on anybody's toes, or Chris's toes, when he said that you kind of went behind his back and spoke to Paige? I personally don't think you did anything disrespectful, but do you think, watching it back, it could have been a different route you took in that moment?
Well, I'll say this, and we're not at liberty to really speak on the show,
Okay.
but I will say, um, I was just being, doing what I was supposed to do.
Right.
At the end of the day, I want to make sure that everybody was counseled and helped. And the situation that God placed me in was that of a counselor, to be able to help and to give advice.
Right. And you did that.
And to give and to pour out, some wisdom. And again, I'm just thankful for the opportunity. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Pastor White, thank you. I really hope, well, I've learned as I gotten older, some people belong in your past, some people don't belong in your future.
Mm-hmm.
And me as a viewer looking at the show, I really hope that if you and Chris didn't mend anything, I hope that it moved in a positive direction. But if you guys did not, you have to do what's best for your peace, because me looking on, I was very triggered at the fact that, disrespect to Chris, but, provoking a pastor or provoking anybody on national TV to fight, and you kept your composure. Like, kudos to you. I know people in the comments are so happy that you did that. And I know today airs part 2. I know you can't speak on it much, but what can we expect from part 2? Any more of you tonight?
I have no clue.
Okay, right, because editing, you just never know, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I will say this about character, though. I think it's imperative for all of us to understand that God will open up doors for us,
right.
And it is imperative that we do have the stamina and the maturity to be able to stay in the doors that He opens. And
right.
Maturity comes through time, okay?
Yeah.
Maturity comes through time, and it's not an overnight thing. I'm as I get older, I begin to realize there are some things that I did when I was in my younger 20s that I wouldn't do now that I'm in the age that I am now.
Right.
And so, as my grandma used to say, just let time take its place, give it some time. And after a while, you begin. And so as time begins to progress, you begin to mature. And stuff that bothered you when you were younger doesn't necessarily bother you as much
right.
when you get older. Because you have, you'll begin to think about, things that you have to lose and the stuff that you have at stake. And so it's imperative that all of us, given the situation, make sure that we always keep our composure and our character, because your character is what will keep you in the door.
Well, I'm glad you kept it for all of us, because I was screaming at my TV that day. I'm not going to lie to you. I think everybody in the comments was just like, look, he might be a pastor, but he from, look, ATL. But anyway, Pastor Dwight, like I said, thank you so much. We're very happy to have you on the big screen, and for you to be a positive Black male in the world, spreading such love. We just want to say thank you. And the book, again, 5 Things Every Man Needs, people can pre-order it today, correct?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
You can literally go to pastordwightbucknerjr.com.
Okay.
pastordwightbucknerjr.com, and you can order 5 Things Every Man Needs right now. And it drops. It comes out in June. And so you can pre-order that copy now. We'll in June when it releases, you'll be the first ones to get your copy. We've got a list of people already who the book is going to first. So I would really encourage you to go ahead and order that book. It's a book on relationships, understanding men. It's for men and women. And so I really want you to get it. It's really going to help you put in your archive, and it's really going to help.
That is amazing. I know I have a few people. Oh, I want a signed copy. A few people in the comments want a signed copy. How can they get that? Will they all be signed?
Well, I tell you what, if you pre-order, I'll tell you what, I will. I'm gonna have to take a note so I don't forget.
Take some notes, because they want to know.
For everyone that pre-orders a copy, gets a book pre-sale, I will literally sign the book. I'll sign the book.
Oh, that's good.
So, and including those that have already pre-ordered their copy, I'll sign all my pre-order copies. This ain't those that order after the release date in June, but for those who
right now
get a copy now, I'm gonna sign it.
Okay, so you guys
Yeah.
heard that he is going to be signing. I'm going to go ahead and cop mine as well. Some people in the comments are saying cool. Now, what before we wrap this up, because I know you have to go. I didn't want to keep you too long. Plus, I got to catch this reunion so I can say some words to my TV.
No
What's
problem.
next? Do you want to do more reality TV? More, more of your life?
Well,
for Pastor Dwight?
Well, I would just say this. I'm just literally following as God leads me. And wherever he takes me, that's where I'm going to follow as long as he's lifted up, as long as God is lifted up.
I hear that. Thank you
Right.
so much.
Thank you.
People want to know, can you post it on your IG so people can order it? Like,
yeah. It's in fact, it's if you go to my IG, you'll see the book, and all the information is right on the flyer and underneath the flyer if they want to pre-order a copy.
Okay, Pastor Dwight,
Yeah.
thank you so very much. I know this was very last minute.
No, thank you so much for having me.
I'm so glad you did not stomp Chris. Girl, I wanted to stomp Chris for him, okay? But as Pastor said earlier, he kept his composure, and that's character. Left us with that great word. So, Pastor Dwight, thank you so very much. Like I said, the reunion part 2 comes on, I believe, at 8 o'clock. I believe.
Yeah, 8 o'clock.
So we got a few minutes to go ahead and watch that. And thank you. I'm going to get the book. I look for my signed copy.
All right. You're getting it. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, guys. Talk to you soon, Pastor Dwight. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
All right. Bye.